today. Back to you.
Holly, thank you. Can't wait to see how this one unfolds. And he takes this from inside the 5. He just about popped that one for a long one, but as it is, he gives his team a lot of momentum with a solid return. So the Ole Miss Rebels offense will go on the attack first. And here comes the junior running back. He put up more than 250 yards, 4 touchdowns while running his team to a win in their last game. Running inside, it's Lacy.
Well, the defense blitzed on that last run, but it was the big fella on the inside that made the stop and made the play. Great job flying out of his stance, locating where the football was, and getting to the ball carrier. Really good job at the point of attack.
Fires to the wideout. Makes the grab. It's Alexander. Steered out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. A big pickup, and they are threatening. The Rebels come to the line after the big connection and going back to work. Looking for room. It's Lacy. Ball is loose. Productive 4-yard gain there on the ground as he gets it down to the 31. And let's hold on just a minute here as the officials are going to have a second look. And you know the standard is indisputable video evidence, and the officials will change the call. They'll line up for a second down play. They'll run it on the counter. Maybe a crease. An explosive play in the running game as he's got the first down. Following that run, we have a player who is shaken up. Training staff out there checking on this freshman linebacker. And the Rebels have it with a 1st and 10. From the red zone, looking for a man. Caught in the backfield, it's Lacy. He'll get it all the way down to the 8-yard line, and the defense is feeling the heat.
This offense has put a pretty good drive together, man. Like showing a little bit of balance, back-to-back plays, creating some chunks of yardage, and now really set up in a position to do well. 1st and goal, and the defense their head's spinning a little bit because mixing the run and pass really well on this drive.
Might be changing the route. He wants to throw it. Wide out trying to get it in. They've got it down to the 3-yard line. Really well done on that throw and catch.
And this offense shows they will be aggressive. On 1st and goal, they get the completion. Listen, games come down to executing in the red zone. This is a big spot.
They've got it down to the 3. Now it's 2nd and goal. Looking for the end zone. And he's in. Touchdown, Rebels.
You know, this guy's had a big role in this offense this year, especially when they get down close to the end zone. That's his 5th rushing touchdown on the year. He's been a factor for these guys offensively.
And he makes the extra point. Fielded in the end zone. And the ball is loose on the return. Defense swarming on that loose ball. It'll be a turnover. So the Rebels come out to get this drive started. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. He'll be down at the 4-yard line after that terrific run.
Well, I'll tell you, when you start a game as well as this guy did on the opening drive, you're going to earn more touches later. And finally, they hand it off to him here on the second drive. But he's really shot out of a cannon in this game. Really like the way he's...
Touchdown, Rebels. Fitted in the window for the score.
Man, this offense has started the season off so good. 1-0 a week ago, right? Now building on it again. Great job putting points on the board. It's still the first half, but this unit looks dialed in.
Coming out with it, it's Gibson. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. So Charlotte's offense gets to come out for its first possession of the game. And standing in the way is one of the best defensive lines in the country.
Well, this is one of the best quarterbacks in the country, but David, he better have a clock going off in his head in this one, because this is one of the elite pass rushes in the entire nation as well. Their D-line is absolutely stocked and loaded with athleticism, with guys with bad intentions, and they built this D-line specifically for games like this.
Yeah, so he better be on time, right? Like, that just got to be careful. You don't get away with some of those liberties of holding on to the football, extending plays, because those dudes are in relentless pass rush mode, chasing after you. This will be a great chess match.
They'll keep it on the ground. Might have a chance. He'll step out of bounds right at the 35-yard line, and maybe they've got something cooking. They'll snap it on first down from the 35. The run inside. It's Middleton. Surged ahead for a couple there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. Delay to the back. It's Middleton. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
I love when defensive backs come up and they are physical and they stick their face in the fan and they aren't scared. Talking to the defensive coordinator coming into this game, he knew his DBs had to tackle well. They had to get these running backs on the ground. Great start on this first drive.
Wants to throw. It's Harrell. He tosses one high and deep down the left side. That was almost picked off, and what a disaster that would have been to throw a pick on the opening drive. Instead, it's 4th down. Kick is in the air. And the punt will hit at the 7, and they can't corral it. It goes into the end zone. It'll come out to the 20. Looking for space. It's Lacy. Picks up the first down. Out across the 45 and out of bounds at the 46-yard line. A big pickup here as they try to put together a scoring drive. You love to deliver a punch on the first play of the drive. They've got it at the 46 on first down. And they'll bring him down after a short pickup.
And I go back to him again, too, man. I mean, just the big play, the play before, and they say, why not? Try it again. Get it to their running back. Try to create some space. Better job by the defense being gap sound, coming downhill, not letting him break tackles and make a big play.
2nd down, they'll go to the air. That's caught. It's Lacy. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. How aggressive might this play call be on 3rd and short from the 46? He might want another play. Motion from the back. They'll go to the air on 3rd and short. Myers on the move. He's got an open man. A likely touchdown-saving tackle, but the catch and run takes it down to the 7. Now the chance to pay off that big play from just outside the 5. He's looking to pass. And they're not quite in rhythm. Incomplete.
A lot of times when you go back and you revisit these games, who takes advantage of these opportunities in the red zone, in these goal-to-go situations? Bad job on first down by this offense.
He pushes his way down to the 4 as they get closer and closer.
After getting stopped on that 2nd down, don't be surprised if the offense hands it off to him again here at the goal line on 3rd.
They've worked it down to the 4-yard line, but now it's 3rd and goal. Keeps it himself. And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Rebels!
Well, this guy's dynamic, and he can hurt you in a variety of ways in the option game, and he had a chance that time to pitch it out wide if he wanted to, but he kept it himself. He shows you the wheels, takes it in for the score.
And they did tack on the extra point, by the way, and knocked it right down the middle. He'll bring it out. It's Gibson. Tackled and brought down at the 16-yard line after the return. So the 49ers offense ready to set up shop. They've gotten off to a sluggish start and need to put something together on this drive. To the air, it's Harrell. Snagged in the middle, it's Boston. Hauled down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Looking downfield on first down. Can't make the connection, and the defense putting on the heat and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, I don't know if the quarterback got confused on first down. He might have thought the defense was going to be in man coverage that time, but they were in zone. They fooled him and just didn't seem like he had his eyes in the right place, was forcing that ball to his intended target. The window way too small. The guy was not open, so that didn't have that chance to be complete.
Listen, you got to be able to know what play to call and what hole to go through. Like the line blocks for a certain hole. Good job getting through the hole, getting what was blocked, getting a nice positive gain, making your situation really good on the next down.
They turn to the passing game on third and short. And the incomplete pass will bring up fourth down. The 49ers will bring the punt team onto the field. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Way back in his own territory as he hauls it in. Cover guys do their job, and they get him stopped at the 22-yard line. They'll snap this one to start the drive from their own 22. They'll try the right side. And after the tackle, we are headed to the end of the first quarter. The Rebels trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. They'll go to the counter play. He's brought down immediately and barely got it back to the line of scrimmage. They largely dominated the first quarter and built a nice lead to get started. So they go back to work after the break, and it is third down. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. Finds the tight end. Worked his way out to the 28-yard line, but needed a little bit more yardage. Fourth down is coming. And the Rebels decide to punt it away. This will be their first punt of the afternoon. Hauls it in and looking upfield. He's able to pick his way for just a bit, but he'll be stopped at the 18. Good job by the punt team. Charlotte will send the offense back onto the field. They've gotten nothing done so far, and they already find themselves in a three-possession hole, Jesse.
Yeah, and as a head coach, you're wondering, what didn't I say? What didn't I do to get my team ready to go? Because we look like we're sleepwalking at this point.
Nothing went well in the first quarter. You just say refresh. Like, let's try to find a way now. Chip into this lead. Try to make it somewhat manageable when you get to the half.
He's stopped for no gain again. Back-to-back runs, and they have nothing to show for it except facing a third and long. Looking downfield, it's Harrell. Throws to the wideout. Soft spot in the middle. Such a big part to convert these third downs, and they've got it at the 42. And the 49ers headed quickly to the line. We asked earlier this week, who's your favorite receiver? And, of course, he said the open one, but we know who he really wants to go to on third down.
The best one. I mean, I think the open one, obviously the politically correct answer, but you want to find the guy that you got that great chemistry with. You know exactly where he's going to be. You got that bond and that trust.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Back to pass. Makes the grab. Nowhere to go and not much to show for that one. Just shy of midfield at the 47. The defense needs a third down stop. From the gun, wants to pass. Makes the grab on the left. They'll make the stop about 3 yards short of the first down.
Good play call on defense. Third down in that situation, you're just playing a big zone. You want everybody having their eyes on the quarterback, playing in their areas, and you want them rallying to the football. As soon as that running back caught the ball, they all came screaming in. They were able to make the tackle and now set up fourth.
He's got enough, and they roll the dice on fourth down, and they keep the drive alive. They have been stagnant on offense, but finally a little forward movement as they've got a 1st and 10. Slings it downfield. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on 1st down. What will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go? They'll go to the counter. Running into the open space. Turning on the Jets. Gets it all the way down to the 2-yard line. He was fighting for that end zone.
And that's the benefit to the run game. Keep pounding, keep pounding. Now you break one all the way down to the 2-yard line.
And don't stop it. Get down, get lined up quick, and give it to this dude again to go score a TD.
Tough to run it this deep in the red zone, and he found nothing at all that time.
Well, this is a defense that we know takes tons of pride stopping the run. That's where it all starts and ends with them, and you saw a great effort on that last play.
Looking to throw, it's Harrell. And the pass is complete, but less than nothing to show for it. They're knocked down behind the line. You can't afford to squander these opportunities once you get into the red zone. Twice they've been denied. Here's 3rd and goal. Got it set up on the outside. Touchdown 49ers! Made the grab and then did the rest himself, and they put points on the board.
A big question mark for this offense coming into the year, guys. Who could score touchdowns? Who are going to be their biggest playmakers on offense? This guy scored in the first game. He's off to a great start in this one. With that touchdown, this guy looks like the real deal.
On the run from inside his own 5. Tackled and brought down at the 23-yard line, so not a whole lot of room on that return. Ole Miss ready to send the offense onto the field. A rather unproductive series last time, 3 and out, and they'll try to do better this time around. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
That back had absolutely nowhere to run the football. Actually, is he counting? I think he's counting to make sure there's only 11 guys on defense.
A negative play to open the drive. Let's see what they've got on 2nd and 14. Gets the back moving. He's going to let it go. And the incomplete pass taking a shot on 2nd down, and they'll be left with a 3rd down. Running backs on either side of the quarterback. On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. Oh, he loves to fire downfield. And they wanted it all on 3rd down, but now dealing with 4th down. The Rebels will line up to punt it away. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. Fields the punt and tries to work it the other way. And the return man is stopped, and that'll leave it up to the offense on the next drive. They'll try it on the ground, running the counter. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. Lost 1 on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. On the ground with the counter. Powers through the defender. Just working and poking and prodding and finding his way up to the 36.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
They thought they could just run it on 3rd and short, but this defense was there to make the stop. Now we got a timeout taken by the Rebels. That's their first. And they'll have 2 left to work with here in the first half. The 49ers will try to pin them back with the punt. Oh, look at this thing. They may need a flight attendant on that one. The Ole Miss offense ready to go back to work. They really didn't move the ball at all the last time they had it, hoping for better fortune this time around. Looking to throw on 1st down. Caught over the middle. It's Lacy.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, also a weapon in this offense, catching the football.
Down to 2 minutes before the half, and they'll take the timeout and see if they can add a little more before the break. And the Rebels in a good spot here with 2nd and short. Looking to fire. Oh, he's going to try to get it all here. It's broken up. They took a shot, and he was equal. Challenge to knock it away. They'll try to muscle their way forward on 3rd and short from the 29. Quarterback making adjustments. They're going to try to throw for it on 3rd down. Working that left side. First grab of the season for this highly talented freshman. They believe he's just going to get better each and every snap. The Rebels come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Wants to throw it. Still moving to his right, trying to make a big play. Grabs it up the 25 in stride.
And that is such an accurate throw. It's one thing to do it from the pocket when you have your feet set underneath you. But when you can get outside, off schedule, on the move, and throw a dart like that, that is just big time. And the offense gets a huge explosive play.
Backed up now, here's 2nd and long. Back to pass. And that pass will be jarred loose on 2nd down. That brings up 3rd down.
All right, you got to be careful here if you're the quarterback, right? Back-to-back incompletions. You've had a nice drive. You're still in field goal range, though. Think about this. You cannot take a sack. That has got to be what the play caller is reminding his quarterback about in the headsets right now. If it's not there, throw this thing away because we've got a chance to at least get 3 points here.
Complete on the comeback. Picks up enough to give them 1st and 10 from the 11.
This offense is trying to build on this lead right now, playing with tons of confidence. What a nice job there. Pass protection, quarterback doing a really great job, seeing the defense, reading the coverage, and being on the same page as his intended target. He
makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Rebels.
And you're really starting to see the chemistry that this guy is developing with his quarterback. They hooked up for a touchdown in the first game. They do it again here. These two are on the same page.
On to attempt to try. And they knock through the extra point, and they're up 28-7. So it's an 80-yard drive, and they finish it with an 11-yard touchdown dart. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Charlotte has the ball back. The 49ers offense will return to the field. Boy, they've been caught in a buzzsaw here in the first half, but maybe a chance to carry some momentum into the break here.
It all comes down to this drive right here, Reese. Obviously, this offense hasn't had everything go right for them in the first half, but here's an opportunity, David, to execute some plays, put some throws together, and generate some points.
And you're right, Jesse, and this offense needs to start now. Like, we got to get some points on the board, create some momentum, and continue it, because you've dug yourself a significant hole.
Now, the offense wants to make sure everything's straightened out when they call their first timeout. They'll have 2 left to work with before the half. They'll run for it on 3rd and short. They got him on the ground. Great tackling by this D to stop him short of the first down marker. Ole Miss calls its 2nd timeout. And they'll still have 1 in their pocket for what's left in this first half. And the punt hits ground at the 2 and goes into the end zone. He just missed, hitting them right in the shadow of the goalpost. It'll come out to the 20. He wants to start this drive with a pass. He'll take the deep shot. And that'll be incomplete. Man, that would have been a big hitter on first down, but second down's coming up. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Wants to fire on second down. And he dropped it. It looked for all the world like that would be a catch, and he just got too excited. Now backed up in their own end. It's 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete, and 4th down's coming. And the Rebels send out the punt unit. They'll look to pin him deep. On his way back from the 20. And the returner will be brought down. First play of the drive comes from the 22. To the air, it's Harrell. Using his feet to buy time. Hard running there. He found a little opening and got loose. They couldn't stop him in the backfield, so a solid pickup there. At the line of scrimmage, but they won't snap it here. They're going to use the timeout instead. And they'll still have one in their pocket for what's left in this first half. He gets those chains moving, gets it out to the 42-yard line. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. To the air on first down. Bringing the heat. Takes a hit as he fires. It's picked off, and another empty drive. And the defender is tackled, and that's how we'll run out the first half. Halftime as both teams head into the locker room. We're looking forward to a terrific second half, but before that, let's check in with Kevin Connors.
Fellas, welcome in to our EA Sports Studios here in Orlando, the Week 2 edition of our College Football Update Show. Let's start with Texas, taking on the #1 team, the Ohio State Buckeyes. And it's the Longhorns, looking to make it 3 straight to start the new year. They're already on top in the first half. Here now some other games you may have interest in. Social media certainly does. Inside the American Conference. Now back to your game inside Vaught Hemingway Stadium. It's hardly a secret what this team wants to do. They want to feed the beast, let him run it, and control the line of scrimmage. Ground and pound, and continue to add to this lead in the second half.
The Rebels will line up to kick off and start the second half. He'll bring it out. It's Rutledge. And the returner goes down. Charlotte's offense comes out to go on the attack. They come into this third quarter with a lot of work they need to get done.
Yeah, and it starts with this possession. And I'm going piece by piece. I know this is coach speak and very simple. I score. I get a stop. I score. I can get back in this game, but it's got to be one drive at a time.
It's going to have to be, but I think the mindset offensively is we're probably going to have to score every time we get it because our defense has been struggling. They have not been getting a lot of stops, so this is a critical drive here for this offense.
Punches ahead. They'll give him a yard to the 13.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
That slides a little early and short, and now it's going to be 4th down. And the 49ers will send out the punt unit. They've been busy out there to punt for the 5th time today. Makes a nice grab at the 25. He's got great speed. He was able to get that ball up to the 48-yard line before he stopped on the return. Rebels offense is back on the field. They didn't get much done the last time they had it. Had to punt it away from deep in their own territory, hoping this drive will be more productive. Lets it fly. They've avoided the interception all day, but they were lucky to get got that one back here late. It'll be second down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Second down, they'll go to the air. Shoots it to the left. They pick it off, and this defense, a much-needed play. Didn't get a ton on the return, but the most important thing, he got the ball, and they've got it at the 48. Looking for a man. It's Harrell. Got out of trouble and throws. It's complete on the right side. They'll finally drag him down, but not before he gets it to the 40, and it's a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Quick release by the QB. Didn't pick up a lot there, moved it forward just a few. Just barely picked up a yard with that last completion. It's 2nd and 9. That's caught. It's Barnes. He goes out of bounds right at the 30. Good pickup on that one.
The biggest rule change for me, if I could make one in all of college football, would be illegal man downfield. And when they run these RPO plays and those linemen start to creep further and further down the field, I would love for the refs to call those more often. It's a cheating play, basically, running these RPOs. So hard to stop. Nice execution by the offense, but probably cheating too.
They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Trying play action. Fires to the big fella. Turning it on. There to make the tackle, but the big throw is good enough to give them a first down. The 49ers go back to work after moving the chains through the air. From the red zone, it's Middleton. There's some room. They get him on the ground, but not before he rumbles all the way to the 5. And the 49ers have it in scoring position on 1st and goal. They'll go to the air. Swings it out to the flat. Trying to hit him with a quick game on 1st down, and nothing doing there. Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. Trying to find the end zone. That completion will take it close to the 5-yard line. They'll mark it at the 6. About to have the 9th snap on this drive. You don't want to settle for a field goal. Unleashes to the end zone. He's got it. He'll be stopped short. It'll be 4th down, and let's see what the decision is here. No signs of any kind of kicker as they'll leave the offense out there to try to move those chains. Trying to power it in. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Niners.
And the head coach is going to keep going for it on 4th down because his offense responds like that. Your coach gives you the ultimate vote of confidence. Down on the goal line, we're going for it. I believe in you guys to execute and get us in the end zone, and they pay it off. Phenomenal job up front by the offensive line. You love to see a team respond to their coach's confidence.
Play is stopped as they tend to an injured Ole Miss Rebel. That's their freshman starting wide receiver, and we hope he's not out of the game too long. Holly will keep an eye on things for us. Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Lacey. Really good job by everybody there. Well blocked, good run, and a first down.
You know, as a defense, you can have the right call and the right guy in the right spot, but that guy's just too good. And how about the running back on that play? Just making it happen, breaking off the huge gain. It's tough to get these guys on the ground.
Well, this running back has had a pretty good day so far. And I think the key right now is for the defense to find a way to slow him down. He had a good run 2 plays ago. The defense gets the TFL on this one. I think you got to change up your fronts defensively and try to give this offensive line different alignment looks to see if they can confuse him.
And it's going to be interesting to watch this defense, man, because obviously when you're trailing, and offenses can sometimes get conservative. That's 2 runs back-to-back. Do they get more aggressive and try to bring more guys near the line of scrimmage, not let them waste time, and try to get their offense the football back?
Back in motion, try to clear the picture. just a little off. Incomplete.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They had been trying all game long, different ways to affect him. Weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy. That's why the ball falls in.
They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. Back to throw, it's Harrell. Pressure coming. Just tried to drop a little floater in there, and it's incomplete.
Pressure got to the QB that time. He was trying to find his check down out of the backfield, but the hit forced the incompletion.
After that last incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from their own 20. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Boston. He'll be forced out of bounds right at the 30-yard line as they try to grind out some room.
And I love the idea of getting this guy screen throws because of his ability after the catch. So nice job getting downfield, getting a hat-on-hat, and giving him a tunnel to run through.
Bully ball on 3rd and short. They just needed a few inches, and the defense knocked them down in the backfield. The 49ers will punt it away on 4th down. And these guys have been busy. 6th punt of the day. Catches it at the 15. He'll get it to about the 25 before they put a stop to the return. Here comes the Ole Miss offense onto the field. They'll put this one in play first snap of the drive from the 25. They'll have another opportunity to extend this lead after punting last time, David.
And it's important to put that punt behind you. It's over. Let it go. Get back to what you were doing that built this lead.
Yeah, and defense, obviously, they won a few downs that last drive, so you got to put them on their heels here. Maybe mix up a few personnel groupings and try to show them some pictures they haven't seen yet.
And he's able to find a little bit of running room before they get him down. 8-yard pickup on 1st down leaves them with 2nd and short. The offense changing the play. To the air on 2nd down. Looking to the big tight end. What a job to lay out and make the catch. And the Rebels will snap it on 1st and 10. Maybe some confusion on the snap count. It's going to be a false start.
False start offense.
So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Concentration is key. Have to know the snap count. The false start backs him up. It's 1st and 15. Looking to throw. Finds his man. It's Cook. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. So now it's 2nd and long. Looking to fire. Here comes the heat. Snagged out of the air. Knocked down immediately, but a nice pickup on that one. What a day it's been on the ground for these two guys, and they just seem to get stronger as the game goes along as we take a look at the numbers. So we open the final period with a 3rd down play. Wants to throw on 3rd down. Throws for the tight end. Finds a man in the middle. The stop is made, but this offense is threatening 1st and goal from the 9. The Rebels come to the line with a fresh set of downs thanks to that last connection in the passing game. How about that defense getting back there? He'll lose a couple.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. Be interesting to see what the offense does on this next one.
It's 3rd and goal and a long way from the end zone. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. Quarterback moving. Quarterback feeling the pressure, and down he goes at the 22. They'll have to settle for a field goal attempt. And the kicker delivers the 3 to salvage that drive. And now the lead is extended a little further.
And with that kick, man, it's a tall order for the other side. I mean, down 3 possessions. Like, this offense is going to have to get the ball and do something with it, and do it quickly if they want to get back in this football game.
So the 49ers offense ready to set up shop. Giving up that last field goal really hurt. It's a 3-possession game, and things look dire to be. Oh, he's got some space. They've got him down at the 40 after he ripped off 15 yards. And the 49ers will hustle to the line.
Defense gives up the pretty big run. They get the first down. And listen, you got to reload quick now, because this offense, they got their foot on the accelerator.
He finds a dead spot in the middle. Good pickup there as he gets the first down, and they'll mark him at the 48. New set of downs after the completion. Dropping back, it's Harrell. Quickly to the tight end. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
This offense has their work cut out for them, man, because the coverage has been so tight. And if you're not throwing to the sideline or you're not getting past the sticks, this defense is going to tackle you inbounds like they just did on that last play and bleed the clock.
The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage. And that last completion was a bit of a Pyrrhic victory. It made third down even longer. He wants to throw it again. Lets it go. And the misconnection on third down.
And his passing attack has not been great today. It hasn't found a way to manufacture those big plays and to scare this defense. And now, in passing situations, trailing, this is a tough spot for this offense.
Fires to the right. And it's incomplete way downfield, and the defense rises to the occasion.
Listen, with the aggressiveness of offenses and taking chances, a lot of times it's going to put your defense in a hole. And this defense is going to have to come through in the clutch right here, because your trail.
Looking for a big play. Knocked away at the last minute, and that is precision defensive back play there. Working well behind the sticks on second down. Couldn't connect on first down, now back to the air. Got it in stride inside the 20.
You know, I love offensive coordinators that want to stay aggressive. They've come up with big plays all game long. It's a big reason why they have this lead right now, and they're not backing off here in the fourth quarter. They're letting their guys go play. The entire playbook is open to them, and they're taking shots.
And they'll stop him inside the 5, but the defense is backed up in the shadow of its own goal post. Rushes on him. Touchdown, Rebels. And the punishment has been extended.
After that amazing performance in week 1, this offense wasn't content. They felt like they left some plays out on the field, even though they were able to get that win. I feel like they've taken another step. They've raised their intensity level. They've raised their execution. This team is going to be a contender this year. You can just feel it.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Charlotte will send the offense back onto the field. That fourth down gamble didn't pay off on the last drive, and it led to giving up a scoring drive, David.
Yeah, and everybody wants to go for it on fourth down. Everybody wants that, but your defense sometimes has to bail out your decision-making. We decided to go for it. We didn't get it. And the defense, Jesse, didn't come up big and prove me right.
Yeah, not complimentary football, no doubt. But look, this offense has been in these situations before. So you got to come back out here, take the field. It's a fresh set of downs, brand new drive. Let's go out and execute, put some points on the board.
And you see so many smart wide receivers, so many smart tight ends nowadays that they know where the holes in those zones are, and they work with their quarterback, and they find them, and they sit down in them and make big plays. It's tough to sit back in zone against such smart players nowadays.
Not just hard-nosed running, that's cement-nosed running as he gets into the 25. The 49ers with a second and short to keep this drive moving. Running inside, it's Rutledge. Here's a little room there. Really good running, gets it into the red zone, and they'll have it at the 16. And the 49ers getting set on 1st and 10. They'll throw it from the red zone. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. motion from the wide receiver. Takes the handoff. It's Rutledge. And there was nowhere to go. Just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. To throw, it's Harrell. Here's a heat. Working that left side now. Works his way to the 4-yard line, and they'll have it 1st and goal. The offense threatening. Close to the end zone now with a new set of downs. A 1st down run in the red zone. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it. Now we get a timeout taken by the Rebels. That's their first. And they'll still have 2 timeouts left for the rest of this game. Back to pass on 2nd down. He just got rid of that one to save the down. Didn't see anything he liked. And they'll come to the line and try to draw a little bit closer on 3rd and goal. The run inside. It's Rutledge. He is stopped short. That's the man they wanted to have the ball, but it'll be 4th down. Ole Miss calls its 2nd timeout. And now everybody chiming in to figure out how to play this 4th down. Big guy smells it. Touchdown, Charlotte. And they take it in for 6 more points. They'll line up to go for 2. Looking to throw. Pocket breaking down. And here's a fumble way behind the line. He picks up the fumble, but they'll blow it dead right there. And remember, at this stage of the game, the only person who can advance a fumble for the offense is the fumbler.
And listen, you start to get desperate, right? Late in the game, it's in the 4th quarter. You know, I got to steal a possession somehow, some way. And you got to pull the trigger and kick an onside. Something you feel good with. They tried. Unfortunately, they failed. And this game's going to get difficult now, even more down the stretch.
And that one's incomplete. We're taking a shot there, but couldn't hook up. Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Back to pass. Unloads to the wideout. He's got it. He's brought down, but what a play for this offense, and they'll have it at the 12-yard line. After that huge play right back at him on 1st and 10 from inside the 15. Wants to adjust the pattern. Sends it back in motion. Looking to throw on 1st down. They're working that left side. Touchdown, Rebels. And the beatdown has ensued.
And with that score, you start to get excited because you can feel the momentum starting off 2-0. I mean, you got to finish this one off, but there's a great chance you're going to. But this season has started just like you wanted it to. Now just keep climbing. See how high we can get in these rankings.
And the extra point splits the uprights. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on 1st down. 2nd down coming. Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on 2nd down. Off the play fake. Makes the catch. It's McGee. Great job on the containment and the tackling. They stop him for no gain. Ole Miss calls its 3rd and final timeout. The brain trust getting thoughts together for this big 3rd down coming up. And the Heat will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17. The 49ers will punt this one away. 3 and out, and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. They'll put a stop to that return at about the 37-yard line. So the Rebels come out to get this drive started. Boy, they have delighted these home fans here by putting this game in a hammerlock, David.
Yeah, this crowd's been jacked up. They've been excited. Now they get to breathe a little bit, Palmer. Nice lead. This offense needs to go out and protect it.
Yeah, they've been the more physical team all game long. So let's just run the ball. Let's just ice this football.
Going for it all. And this is dropped. Incomplete pass. He had a huge gain in his fingers, and he couldn't hold on. Well, work to do here on 2nd and long. He's not afraid to go deep. He's got it inside the 15. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their total.
Points, points, and more points. This offense has had their way. They just keep their foot on the gas, keep putting up points, keep putting up touchdowns. And you know what? This is one of those stats days. You look back and you're like, that guy had 12 touchdowns on the year. Well, 4 or 5 of them might have been in this game.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Gonna run it. It's Rutledge. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. With the clock running, this should be the final play. They won the game today. That's 2 in a row. If they win the next one, it's called a winning streak. It's been done before.
And we're seeing the identity of this team come into fruition. You just get the sense they're finding out who they are, what they're about, what they're going to do schematically, and who their big playmakers are.
Which is tough to do, right? It's tough to grow throughout a season and understand who you are. But when you stack wins week after week on top of each other and start to have success, you start to grow as an identity and you start to understand who you are.
This has been a presentation